Hola Leti,
Hola, ¿cómo estás,
hola,
Sidar?
hola,
¿Cómo
hola
vamos?
Leti, estoy muy bien, ¿cómo estás tú? ¿Qué tal?
Bien, muy bien por aquí.
Bueno, pues estamos esperando a que más invitados nos reúnan, ¿no? Y de ahí podemos ir hablando. Y bueno, pues es un honor tenerte, Leticia, por aquí y muchas gracias por estar aquí.
No, bueno, muchas gracias por invitarme. La verdad que siempre es una alegría poder juntarme a hablar sobre Argentina y sobre India. Para mí
Qué
siempre
bien.
es lindo.
Qué bien, qué bien. Entonces, Leti, si no te importa, podemos mezclar un poco de inglés aquí también, ¿sí?
Sí, claro.
Para muchos seguidores míos que, bueno, no tienen un nivel tan avanzado de poder entender, pero estaría bueno, pues algo muy bonito para que ellos también puedan entender un poco de lo que estamos hablando, ¿no? Well,
Bien.
we've got Leticia Esteves with us, and we're still waiting for a few more people to join. And in between, the people who have joined can write in the comments section whether they're able to hear us. Si ustedes pueden escucharnos bien, si el audio de Leticia, tanto de Leticia como el mío está bien. If you can just write in
Sí.
the audio fine, so we can then start in a while. How is the weather over there, Leticia?
Uh, Autumn has just begun here, so we have this. It's super nice today. It's
Hmm.
sunny. It
Okay.
might be maybe 20 degrees Celsius, more or less.
Oh,
Yes, it's
oh, okay.
nice. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
it's very nice
Wonderful.
here.
That's
We are not working today because
okay.
we are commemorating the Malvinas War. People,
Okay.
people from India might know that we have this war with England people in
Right.
83 years. So we are
Right.
commemorating this today.
Right.
And we also always thank India very much because India supports Argentina in the
Right.
international court. So anti-colonialism is good to remember today.
Wonderful. Maybe I think so. Yeah, we'll just start the interview with your introduction, Leticia, and then
Okay.
maybe we can actually after the introduction we can start with a little bit about this day that you were talking about. So that
Sure.
others can also learn a little bit about probably a bit of history of Argentina. No, so just okay, just get this straight. Okay, so yeah, for people who have joined, I think we've got about 16 people here. So wonderful, it's great, and I hope that more and more people can join. So just to give you a little bit about a brief about Leticia. Leticia Esteves has more than 17 years of experience in tourism sector, and she has worked in both public and private organizations. She has worked in Brazil, Spain, Turkey, Netherlands, and Dominican Island, among many others. She has represented Argentina at the National Tourist Board at events promoting international tourism. She is currently the Vice Dean of the Environment and Tourism Department at the National University of Avellaneda. See,
Okay.
so I think and there's much more to talk about Leticia, but I think in the interest of time, como siempre no tenemos tanto tiempo, ¿no? Para hacer
No.
tantas conversaciones. So we're gonna limit Leticia's introduction till here. And yeah, Leticia, so I think for people who have just joined, you can talk a little bit about why is today a holiday and what is
Mm.
the history between Argentina and England for that matter.
Yes, today we are on this holiday day. We are not working today. We are commemorating the Malvinas War. It took place in 1982, and uh, the 2nd of April was the day that the war started by then. So we are commemorating all the veterans and the people who died in that war. There is an island that is called Malvinas, which is very close to our coast, but now it's an English island. So we're commemorating that. You know, India and Argentina has this colonialism thing with British people, so we are always supporting the anti-colonialism causes.
Right. And
that's
I think
why we are
the
not
English,
working together.
yeah, right. And I think the English people call it as the Falkland Islands, right?
Right.
They call it as the Falkland Islands.
Yes, but we call it Isla Malvinas is the name of it.
Okay.
Yes.
So great. So many of you must be wondering why am I doing this interview with Leticia? Because see, I'm an Indian, and Leticia has strong connections with India.
Yes.
Let me tell you a little bit about Leticia. She was awarded, so she has a graduate degree in tourism and hospitality and a master's degree in management and development of tourism. She was, so here comes the relationship with India. She was awarded a scholarship by the government of India through the ITEC program to take the course of capacity building program on learning South-South cooperation at the RIS Institute Research and Information System for Developing Countries in New Delhi, the capital from where I'm talking today. And she was, of course, also awarded 2 scholarships by the People's Republic of China. But we are here to talk about Leticia's experience here in India. And Leticia, a lot of students nowadays are learning Spanish in India.
Really?
Spanish is growing at a very, very fast pace here in India. So we have, for example, Instituto Cervantes de Nueva Delhi, which experiences the highest amount of students that enroll amongst all its centers in the world. So and tourism, I think, is something that is at the core of any foreign language, no? So tell us a little bit, Leticia, about your experience of this scholarship that you had in India, and how was it coming to India and the whole experience?
Okay, I always wanted to visit India. I don't know exactly why, but it was something that it was in my mind like for maybe 12, 15 years ago. And I heard about someone who applied for this scholarship and get the chance to go there and study. So I studied English. I know English since I was a little girl, at school, but then I have to start studying again. So I said, okay, I would love to study in India. So I searched for different programs there, and I was actually interested in international cooperation by then. So I found this program and I applied, and I had the chance to study in India for a month in 2015. And it was a great experience. It was my first time in India. I've been in India 4 times. That was my first time. So everything was different for me. It was, I studied there with people from all around the world. So I get the chance to learn not only about India, but also about different countries, Africa, countries from Africa, South America, Asia. It was really, really interesting. So I was in Delhi most of the time, but then I had a chance to visit Taj Mahal and Jaipur for like a study trip. Yes. So it was like the golden triangle that I visited by then, and it was a great experience. Yes. I was like amazed by the country, by the people. I remember, I can still remember the horn, the noise, everything that Delhi has. Yes, I can remember that first time. I ride a rickshaw, all those typical things that you do on your first trip to India. So yes, I can still remember that. It was a whole month by then.
Okay, wonderful. So, you talked about the Taj Mahal. So, how was it experiencing Taj Mahal, Leticia? I'm sure you must have heard about Taj Mahal a lot before coming, but how was it to experience it the first time?
It's what we have on our minds about India, like for the very first time, So I remember that we woke up very early in the morning to get there, and yes, I couldn't be happier by then. that was a great day. I can still remember. I have all my pictures. I have some printed pictures too
Okay.
about my experience in Taj Mahal. And
Wow.
of course, it's one of the gems of India, you know.
Right.
And but then you get to know all different places, different cities, and you get to know that India is so much bigger than what we know about
Right.
India. It's so much
Right.
complex
Right.
to understand the
Right.
country, the
Yeah.
language, the culture,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So, in fact, I would like my guests, on this show to keep writing their comments about whatever you are able to hear about what Leticia is talking. And if you have some questions related to Argentina or, related to what she's talking about India, you can talk about it and we'll definitely pick up those questions. So I have one very good friend of mine, Spanish with Kamlesh. So he's saying that tengo algunos amigos en Corriente, me platicaron sobre yerma mate y empanadas. So that's interesting. So this
And
whole conversation that we the idea was that to interchange cultural aspects between India and Argentina. And so what is mate, Leticia? If we can
mate. Okay.
tell our viewers about it.
Mate is our like national drink, I can say. We drink it in the morning, in the evening. I mean, every time at work we drink it too. And it's like a recipient. Oh, I don't have one here, but I should
Yeah.
have one closer so I can show you.
Right.
And we put this herb inside and the
Yeah.
straw, and we just put hot water, not boiled water, but hot water, and we
Okay.
drink it all the time. We just add water and drink and share with all the people around. The
Okay.
same mate is popular because Messi is always drinking mate. You can see him drinking mate all the time. So it became popular because of that. And
Oh,
we take our mate everywhere we go. If we go to the beach, or if we go on holidays, or, we take it with us. It's also very popular in Uruguay, which is a country next to Argentina, and in south of Brazil, south area.
right, right. Interesting. And he also talked about empanadas. So, what are empanadas,
Empanadas is
Leticia?
a food. Yes, it's filled with different things. It's like a bread.
Okay.
It's not exactly like a bread, but it's
Yeah.
something that is filled with meat or with
Right.
chicken or with cheese and jam with different
Okay.
flavors, and it has more or less this size. And then
Okay. Okay.
we eat it, yes, with wine. Wine is also very popular here in Argentina. We have some
Okay.
winery areas in
Okay.
Mendoza,
Okay.
Salta, San Juan.
Okay.
So it's very
Oh,
popular
wonderful.
to have empanadas and wine, mostly in
Wow.
the north of Argentina.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So I think the wine lovers here would probably find that interesting. And taking this conversation forward, I think one of the persons in the guest in the chat has asked, what is the discussion about? So this discussion is about Leticia's Estevez's experience in India and about India and Argentina and what all cultural aspects that we can learn from Argentina. So, Leticia, coming back to the conversation about India. So, when you experienced it the first time, from then to, you said you visited India 4 times. So, if I talk to you about the fourth time that you visited India, how did you see the change happening in India? Was there a lot of change, or your viewpoint had changed a bit? How was it?
Well, yes, I've changed, and and the thing was that I visited different areas from India. So that's when I get to understand that India is like multiple countries in one country. You know,
Right.
I've studied some words in Hindi and some phrases in Hindi that I didn't have the chance to use them when I was in Kerala, for example. I've learned that each region has their own language, and it's not so easy to use my few words in Hindi in
Right.
Kerala or in Karnataka, because I've
Right.
been in Karnataka on my entered Karnataka, Mumbai, Varanasi. And then the last time I've been there in India was I've been there in Kerala, in the south area, where
Okay.
football is very popular. Argentina was very popular by then, so
Yeah.
I wanted to visit that place. I have a few friends there, so.
Right.
But it's, the thing that I understood it was that India is a very complex country, and each region is different. Yes.
Right.
I was a
Right.
different person on each
Mm.
experience, but India is also so different
Wonderful.
between.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Leticia, when you talk about football, many students here in India, especially in school. So I teach in a school here, and many students join Spanish language because of the love for football, and they all love Messi. Yeah, a lot of Messi lovers. If any Messi lover here in the
Yes.
chat, please do let us know. Yeah. So how big is Messi in Argentina, Leticia? And tell us a little bit about, as an Argentinian, how do you feel about being from the same land as Messi?
For us, football is everything. Since we are born, we have to choose a football team, and Messi was, I mean, Messi is everything now. Maradona used to be, and he's also a very popular football player in our country. Our idols are Maradona and Messi, but Messi has reached so many people, not only from Argentina and from Spain because he was a player in Barcelona, but being Messi being in Barcelona meant, I mean, being known everywhere. That's why
Hmm.
people love Messi all around the world. And
Right.
he such a simple guy, he could
Hmm.
be any one of, of us,
Hmm.
just being as popular as he can be. And for us, it's everything. I mean, we all wanted Messi to win that World Cup. I mean, not only us, I believe all the world. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
always thinking, oh my God, there's so many people all around the world just that wanted this to happen. So all that energy just was straight and to that World Cup,
Yeah.
and Messi is everything for us. He's our max. I mean, he's our idol now.
Mhm.
And if Messi is happy, well, what we say is if Messi is happy, we are happy. So we wanted him to win this World Cup. Yes.
Wow.
When I was in Kerala, I mean, I saw all these Argentinian flags everywhere, and Messi giant pictures on the streets, and
Yeah.
little boys with our T-shirt. It was so crazy. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like a little Argentina in Kerala.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and there was a huge, I think, a huge cutout of Messi that I don't know where it was, in Kerala or somewhere else, that they actually floated that huge placard on a
Yes,
river there,
yes.
and it was
And
beautiful.
my friend Yadil was the one who put Messi on the lake with all his
Wow.
friends. Yes, I get to
Wow.
know him in Qatar during the World Cup.
Ah,
And I
okay.
realized that was he. He was the one who put that giant Messi on that lake with all his
Um,
friends. He's a huge fan. He's a huge
okay.
Messi fan.
Wonderful. That's
Yes.
great. And I remember, I was at a friend's wedding in Hyderabad, which is again south of India, and we were all, so while the wedding ceremony was happening, none of the youngsters, and I include myself in that youngsters category, although the other youngsters were like almost 7 8 years younger to me. We were all glued to our mobile phones, and estábamos viendo el partido. I still remember, I think 18th December, I think it was, and
Yeah.
that will live long in the memory of many of the people, and it was just a completely different scene. Like, I don't know why it is that Indians have, and I'm not talking only about people with knowledge of Spanish, but even generally people who are not associated with Spanish in India, there is a fondness towards Argentina. There is this there's some like it's like something which you cannot explain. No se puede explicar por qué algunos o muchos indios, ¿no? Tienen este amor por Argentina. It could be, like Maradona back in the 80s and
Yeah.
90s, or it could be Messi now. But Leticia, I'd like to pose this question to you that why do you think, and you, because you have been to India like 4 times, why do you think that there is this fondness amongst Indians for Argentinian football team? Anything that you could gauge or understand
No,
being in India?
I think that in Kerala and in Calcutta, Calcutta, they love football, especially in those two states. And
Yeah,
that's why between Maradona and Messi, but especially Messi related to Barcelona, lots of
yeah,
people get to know Messi because of Barcelona.
yeah,
And okay,
yeah,
Messi is an idol in Barcelona. Well, who is Messi? Where is Messi from? Where is
yeah,
Maradona? Or where was Maradona from? So
yeah.
that's when you get to connect football with Argentina and
Okay.
this passion. People from the south are very passionate for
Yeah,
football. You know,
yeah,
what
yeah,
happens to me in Qatar was that I was during the World Cup in Qatar, and I saw so many people from India supporting Argentina in the States, in the streets,
yeah,
everywhere,
yeah.
that I decided to exchange flags. I exchanged my Argentinian flag with an Indian flag, and I took the Indian flag to the stadium as a way
Oh,
of
wow.
saying, okay, you support my country, I will just support yours or show my love for India in the stadium. And this guy, Yadil, who was an influencer, who is an influencer in Kerala, just made a video about me. I didn't know him, and that video became viral in India. So I was there in Qatar, and people just wanted to take pictures and with my Indian flag, my Argentinian flag, and that was where I realized that they are so much passionate for football too. So we
Yeah,
were sharing this passion for football,
yeah.
and that's why then I decided to travel to Kerala and get to know this like
Wow, amazing.
in first person, to see
Yeah, that's
that
great.
with my eyes.
Yeah. So we have, I mean, that's just an amazing, amazing backstory, Leticia, that you talk about, and it's amazing that that's how cultures really come together. And we have, some comments here. So Akash Rocks 05 is here, who is saying that we love Argentina and Messi, and he also says we love Messi and Di Maria. So he's mentioned Uncle Di Maria and Paulo Dybala as well. So yeah, there are some wonderful connections that sports bring in. So that's amazing. So Leti, now you said that you have some you picked up some Hindi words along the way while you were in India for 4 times. Yeah. So we would like to know. I think a
Yeah.
lot of my Indian guests here would love
Yes,
to hear from you some of your
I mean,
favorite Hindi words.
I've studied for a year and a half Hindi, but it's important to say that mostly the first 6 months or 8 months was about learning the Devanagari alphabet, which is so complex for us,
Yeah.
so much complex and difficult. So it was a great exercise for me. I always said that it's like my brain is doing CrossFit every time I try to read something in the Vanagari, and it's amazing. I love learning Hindi. I
Yeah.
know a few words, and sometimes I collaborate with the Indian embassy here in Argentina, and I do some short videos where I teach. I know it's
Okay.
kind of a teach
Wonderful.
some Hindi words to people
Okay.
here in Argentina that follows the embassy Instagram account and everything. So just a few words, like
Right. Please
hello, my name
बोलिए.
is Leticia, you know.
आप हिंदी में बोलिए लेटिसिया. हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे इंडियन गेस्ट आपको हिंदी में सुने. We would like our Indian guests to hear you in Hindi. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's like okay, namaste, आप कैसे हैं?
Mm-hmm.
मेरा नाम लेटिसिया हूँ. So that what I was trying to use some of my Hindi words in the south
Right.
of India, and just
Right.
here we speak
Yeah.
Malayalam, or here we speak. So
Tamil. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
almost like 23 languages or
Right.
something, no?
Yeah. 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 We have like 22 official languages, but then there are many more thousands of languages that are there apart from that as well. So Yeah, I think, but that's pretty good, Leticia. आप हिंदी अच्छा बोल लेते हैं और मुझे लगता है कि आप और अच्छी हिंदी बोल पाएंगे. So we are getting some comments as well.
Yeah.
So Akash Rocks is saying that आपका हिंदी बहुत अच्छा है. So that's very good. He's also asking, what is your favorite place in India?
Oh,
So Leticia, what is your favorite place in India?
okay. I mean, I liked a lot Kerala. I really liked because it's so green and green is everywhere. I really liked Barkala, Fort Kochi, the places I've been. Not all, I don't know all the places in Kerala. I also was, I mean, there is a place that shocked me in so many ways that is Varanasi or Benares. I
Okay.
think that was the most uncomfortable place, but it's also where I learned the most, where I mean, I've been there by myself. It was really a whole experience for me to be there by
Could
myself.
could you share a little bit about that place, because you said that it was uncomfortable, but at the same time something a place where you learned a lot. So
Yes.
can you share a little bit about that? Why do you say that it was uncomfortable?
Because by then I was, Varanasi is where people go mostly to die. Most of the people go there just to die, close to the Ganga River. And it's not easy for us. I mean, we don't see death the way people in Varanasi or people in the Hinduism sees death, you know what I mean? So it was for me a whole different approach to death. Okay, what is going on here? What is all this energy around me? And I was maybe navigating the Ganga River, and I could see all the people just like saying goodbye to their families, friends or whatever. And it was shocked. I mean, I was really, I mean, sometimes I cannot even explain that. I wrote a lot about Varanasi in Spanish, of course, but it was a place that where I felt uncomfortable, but at the same time, I didn't want to leave that place, So it's I was always all the time just watching, observing, learning, talking to people, trying to understand everything. There were monks. I mean, people. I mean, I realized that there are places or ashrams where people go there to just wait for their death. So it was a heavy experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think yeah, I think that's fascinating how you talk about Banaras, and of course it's a holy place here in India, and yeah, like there's a lot of history and ritual attached to it. So taking forward, Akash Rocks 05 has asked a lot of questions here. So thank you so much for your question, and we would request and welcome all other guests who are here to please write in your questions. So he's asking, what is as so I think that's a question that is asked quite some time ago. That does Argentina play any other sport as well? So he's asking, do you watch any other sports apart from soccer? So I think maybe it's personally to you, but I would like to ask you on a more general level: do Argentinians, apart from football, do they watch any other sports?
Yes. Sometimes there are a lot of people that watch tennis, for example, basketball, car races. Car races too. It's very popular in different provinces in Argentina. And yeah, I think that those are like the most popular sports: basket, tennis, football. Yes, I would be.
Wonderful. I think Argentina is one of the stronger countries in basketball as well, if I'm right. So yeah, and I think in baseball also, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I think keep correcting me if you find that there's any
What we
correction to
don't,
be done.
what we don't, we are not very popular in cricket as you do.
Yeah, I think well that's there, but I'm sure that in my interaction with so many South Americans, there is always a cricket team full of Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, or even Sri Lankans in in all these countries. So yeah, we don't have locals playing cricket in South America, but then the expats that are there, they do play. So yeah, I think in fact a long time ago I did a fantastic interview on my YouTube channel with a British cricket writer. James Point is his name, and he talked about the title of that book, Leticia, was When Evita Peron Burned the Pavilion. So it was actually about Evita Peron, this Argentine leader back in, I don't know, like must have been the 19th century or 20th century, was when
The 19.
she 19th century, yeah. She so the whole book is about how she stopped cricket because of some political issues, and of course, you know, that war that you talked about between Argentina and England, and cricket being a very English sport, yeah. So that was stopped, and football somehow took over. And although football also is an English sport,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway, I mean that's for another day to talk about. But yeah, so Spanish with Kamlesh, she's saying that आपको मिलके और सुन के बहुत खुशी हुई que le gustó escucharte y conocerte. Hablas muy
Yeah.
bien el inglés. Well, claro, and more than English, I think English is something obviously like she was here in India for like 4 years, and she is Leticia Estevez is an international person in a way because she's traveled all around the world. So obviously her English has to be good, but I think her Hindi is fantastic as well. So that's commendable.
I
Um,
have to keep on studying, you know.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
difficult, but it's not impossible.
That's true. That's true.
Spanish is also a difficult language. Spanish,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
you
That's
speak
true.
Spanish great, I must say.
Muchas gracias, muchas gracias. Y gracias a mis estudiantes también, ¿no? Que siempre me motivan a enseñar, ¿no? Okay,
Claro.
so Leticia, just going ahead. So I think someone has written something in Malayalam, if I'm not
Oh, yeah,
wrong,
probably
but
because I have a
I
lot of
cannot.
fans from Kerala, from South. So
Wonderful.
yes, they put me like this Leti Chechi, which means like my friend Leti in Malayalam. So I
Yeah.
always
Oh,
have this Leti Chechi. Or most lot of people just write me like, "Hello, Leti Chechi, how are you?" So I have so
right.
many friends from the South. Yes.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. So, and in fact, so Spanish with Kamlesh is asking that, has estado en Ahmedabad, Gujarat? So he's asking because he is from
No,
Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So have you been to Gujarat, Leti?
no, not yet. Not yet.
Okay, okay.
I have some place. I haven't been in Rishikesh, for example. There are so many places that I have on
Yeah,
my wish list,
yeah,
and people from Instagram, they're always suggesting me
yeah.
places to visit. Yes, so I have this
Right.
long list, and I
Yeah,
put them all in here in my map. You know, I just write it down. So
yeah,
maybe next trip I can just visit all those
yeah.
places.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's wonderful. And yeah, so Akash Rocks is also writing that I know two words only, hola and gracias, but I'm sure that you know this would help. This conversation would motivate you to learn more Spanish. But yeah, I think that's wonderful. So Leticia, taking the conversation a little forward more towards Argentina now. So what are the places? So you know, we here in India we don't know much about South America, you know, because of distance. Although now with globalization, internet, everything, YouTube, social media, the world is becoming much more small all the time. Yeah, and of course we know Argentina for football, but I'm sure that Argentina is a lot more than just football. No, so can you suggest what are the kind of activities that people coming to Argentina for tourism can do in Argentina?
Okay, when you travel to Argentina, most of the people just arrive here in Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is like the capital city, and it's a very I must say that it's one of my favorite places in Argentina. It's Buenos Aires. It's a cultural city with Italian, French influences in the architecture. So when you are in Buenos Aires, you don't know if you are in Madrid or in Buenos Aires, you know, if you are in Europe or in Buenos Aires. Argentina has this, especially Buenos Aires, this huge influence, European influence. So you will see architecture, you will see in Buenos Aires lots of bookstores. We love reading, so we have a lot of bookstores till late at night. They are open, so you will get to. We have a lot of nightlife in Buenos Aires, so maybe we are having dinner like at 11 p.m., and it's open. So we have all this nightlife in Buenos Aires city. But then Argentina is the eighth biggest country in the world. So imagine that it's a big country. It's not very easy to visit the north and the south and the east and the west, but we have a lot of nature diversity. We have glaciers. We have Patagonia, which is well known because it's like an adventure place where people go and do trekking and rafting, and you can ski in Patagonia, for example. And then you have the north with like more this north feeling about Incas, so it's more in the north of Argentina. We have waterfalls in the north too. We have deserts. It's a huge country. So, but mostly we are very popular because of our nature, our diversity and nature.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Salta.
That's wonderful. And
yes, Ismael he's an Indian guy who is living here in Argentina. We are friends from Instagram too. And Salta is in the north, so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful province from the north.
Oh,
yes.
wonderful.
Ushuaia.
So
Ushuaia is at the end of the world. It's like it's an island at we call it the end of the world because there's nothing. Then you have Antarctica. The people who wants to do a cruise to Antarctica, you have to fly to Ushuaia. It's like the closest place to Antarctica in the world. So people come from all over the world to Ushuaia and take the cruise to Antarctica.
Oh, wonderful,
so,
wonderful,
yes,
wonderful.
That's from
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's great. Thanks to Akash Rock 05 who mentioned about Ushuaia. So taking some of the chats from behind. So Trippy Lunatics, one of my good friends and a student of mine earlier, but a good friend now. So she says, Dulce de leche, is it dulce de leche or dulce de leche es el mejor cosa en el mundo? So what is, I think she's referring to dulce de leche, yeah? So what is dulce de leche, Leticia?
Dulce de leche is a sweet, but it's a sweet that you can use it and eat it in different ways. You can see in the alfajor. The alfajor is a sweet, a typical Argentinian sweet, like with two cookies and filled with dulce de leche. You can put it on a pancake. You can put it on the bread, just bread and dulce de leche. You can use it at a dessert, breakfast, coffee in the evening. So it's the most popular sweet here, one of the most. And lots of people just buy a dulce de leche big pot as a gift, as a souvenir.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That's great. I thank you so much, Trippy Lunatic. So her name is Sanjana. Thank you so much, Sanjana, for this wonderful insight so that Leticia could talk about it. And if I take the conversation a bit back, Akash Rocks has a lot of questions. So he's asking, is Argentina safe for tourists, Leticia? And also,
yes,
also, if I can combine that with the question he's asked earlier, that how can we come to Argentina for work or tourism? So maybe both these questions.
How can we, sorry?
How can we come to Argentina for work or tourism? I think he's asking basically like what are the chances or possibilities of coming to Argentina for work or for tourism?
Oh, tourism. Yes, I believe, well, first I have to say that Argentina is a safe place. Buenos Aires has every huge city, big city. Of course, you have to take care, but I mean, it happens in Sao Paulo, in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires. They are big cities, so you have to pay attention, as in every big city in the world. But then it's a safe place. I believe, yes, it's a safe place to visit. And I believe that you need a visa to travel to Argentina. We also need visa to travel to India. We have different kind of visa. And I believe that if you want to work here, you have to have a work visa, I imagine. But it's not very difficult to issue a visa.
Right.
I mean, the last time I traveled to India, I got it online, for example.
Right.
It's like an online visa, and they take it on arrival when you get there.
Okay. Well, that's fascinating. And I think, yeah, India and Argentina, if you go back a long way, I think we have come a long way in terms of bilateral relations now. It's just the other day, I was interviewing a former Indian ambassador to South America, and he talked about how now we are exporting and importing more to South America and from South America than many of our neighboring countries. So, when we used to talk about distance being an issue, now it is no longer an issue. You can do it online, or you can do it through modes of transport that we have. So, yeah, that's amazing. So,
yeah, we are also opening our world map, if I can say something like this, because we used to watch all the time to United States and Europe,
yeah,
especially in Argentina. But now we are opening our commerce and cooperation, activities with China, India, Middle East. We are just African countries. We are opening our minds much more now. So I believe that's also why we have more connections. And India here in Argentina has a very important cultural influence, because of yoga and Ayurveda, So lots of people just get to know India because of these activities, these two activities.
Interesting. And Akash Fox is also asking, do we have direct flights? I don't think we have direct flights right now
No,
from India to
unfortunately,
Argentina.
no. We can go with, for example, via Dubai, via Doha, Ethiopian Airlines also.
Right,
Lots of people but we have to go to Sao Paulo and then to Ethiopia or Emirates,
right.
to
We have to
Dubai
go through
or
the,
Qatar.
we have to,
But it's not direct flights.
yeah, we have to do a stopover in the Gulf somewhere, and then from there we go. Okay, and of course, Akash Talks is also talking about tango. Tango is a popular dance. So tell us a little bit about what is tango, and how popular is it in Argentina? And
Yes.
yeah,
Tango is a popular dance, especially in Buenos Aires. And we share tango with Uruguay because we have between Argentina and Uruguay, there is a river, the widest river in the world, which is Rio de la Plata or River Plate. Maybe you know it because of the football team. We have this culture shared between the Uruguayan coast and Buenos Aires.
Right.
So tango is international known as a dance, but it's here in Argentina is based on basically in Buenos Aires. It's based in Buenos Aires mostly because in the other provinces we have another different dances, and tango maybe is not the most popular there. It's very popular in Buenos Aires.
Okay. And I remember there was when I was doing my masters from the University of Delhi, La Universidad de Delhi, there was a workshop conducted by a tango professor from Argentina. So I learned a bit of tango there. So yeah, and I've also done a little bit of salsa. So I'm a very bad dancer, but I did try to learn. And I think that one difference between what I could find between tango and salsa is that tango is a lot more intimate, a lot more. I think say the word is a lot more passionate dance, than salsa. So if there are salsa and tango dancers,
there is like this. There is more drama maybe in tango because of the lyrics, and what they say. They try to express. It's like a more dramatic dance, if you can say, passionate and intimate. And salsa is more for Central America, like Cuba. You have salsa. It's a but also in Argentina, I've took some salsa classes too because we love salsa, bachata, merengue, all that. But it's not from our country, It's something that we just learn, but it's not from our country.
Right. I think it's more from the Caribbean, no? Especially merengue and bachata. So yeah, I think that's fascinating. And talking about tango, so any Indian dance, particularly Indian dance form that you really liked, or have you seen some Indian dance performances in India when you were here?
Yes, here in Buenos Aires, there are some Indian dance schools, which are, yes, I know the girls from different schools, and there are Bollywood dance classes, for example, the Odyssey, Bharatanatyam, I believe it's pronounced.
Bharatnatyam.
Bharatanatyam,
Yeah.
Kuchipudi, for example.
Kuchipudi.
Yes, but
Yeah.
there are a few schools that here that they learn this classic Indian dance. Yes.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
and I have the chance. I have the chance to watch them at the embassy, for example, or if there is any cultural activity, they are invited. Last year, for example, the ambassador of India in Argentina, Dinesh Bhatia, he came to our university, and there was a dance exhibition
Oh,
there. Yes, so for many people, it was the first time that they get the chance to watch an Indian dance exhibition. And yes, here is I mean, it's just like we are a small group, but we meet each other and we see each other every time we can.
wonderful. So, Fasal Zaman is one who's asking about beef and porota. So, I know for a fact that Argentina is famous for its meat and especially asado. So, what is porota, Leticia? So,
Porota.
yeah.
Let me check. How is it? Let me.
So, he's written it as Porota.
Uh,
Okay.
poroto is, I mean, here the poroto is an ingredient, but it's not
Okay.
something that we eat during the asado. No,
Okay.
not.
Uh,
We eat asado, we eat the empanadas, as you know,
yeah.
as I told you, but porota is no.
Okay. Parota. Or maybe I think he probably meant, I don't know, maybe parotha, which is an
Parota,
Indian,
but
you know,
parota isn't an Indian food, no.
yeah,
Padok,
it's an Indian dish, parotha. Yeah, I don't know whether
padok.
he refers. So if he's still there, he can talk about it. So, but yeah, Akash Rocks is saying about red meat. Yeah, and that's quite popular in Argentina as well as in Latin America. So, what is it about Leticia about meat that Argentina is so much more maybe known for it than any other South American country?
Because we have agriculture. We are very popular because of our agriculture. So
Hmm.
we export soja,
So
meat,
yeah.
soya, yes, meat,
Okay. Okay.
and yeah, we are very popular because of that. If you go on a road trip from Buenos Aires to the coast, maybe to the beach, you will
Mm-hmm.
see kilometers and kilometers of nothing but plantations and cows, and
Mm-hmm.
so basically, yes, that's our main. Is one of our main activities, agriculture. Yes, meat
Ah,
and
okay.
yes,
Okay. Okay. So which
corn.
are the most famous sorry, yeah, you were saying something? You can go ahead.
No.
Okay.
That they were explaining about poroto. Poroto is an ingredient, yes, that is
Right.
used for locro. Locro is
Okay.
another typical food
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think poroto is more like a sort of a frijol, no? Or a bean.
Frijol, sí, una legumbre,
Frijol.
legumbre sería.
Legumbre. Right. Right. Interesting.
Exactamente.
So what are the most popular dishes that one can try in Argentina? Of course, you talked about empanadas, but any other particular dish for non-veg lovers here who would you
Non-veg,
can
okay.
recommend?
You know, I'm vegetable, so vegetarian,
Okay.
sorry. I'm
Yeah.
vegetarian. So it's a kind of a challenge, to go
Okay.
out with some friends. But there are plenty vegetarian options now, especially in Buenos
Okay.
Aires. You have vegan
Okay.
food, vegetarian food.
Okay.
So if you go to a parrilla, that's where you can eat asado, you can eat meat. They probably
Okay.
have they probably have some vegetarian options too. Yes,
Okay. So, but if I
but
talk
it's like
about
it's not as popular as it's in India. I was
okay.
It was a surprise for me that every time, I mean, wherever I go, there was a vegetarian options. And at the beginning, I saw this red, dot when the food has meat, and green when it's vegetarian. But what I thought at the first time, that was red spicy, green non-spicy.
Okay.
Then I get to
Okay.
understand the meaning of that red
Yeah.
and green
Yeah.
dot
Right.
next to the menus, the food in the menu.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you
So,
have
okay. So,
plenty of
but
vegetarian options, yes. In
okay.
India, it's very easy
But
to be vegetarian, right? Because you can
yes.
eat.
Yes, yes. I mean, in India, we have, I mean, although there are a lot of states in India that do offer non-vegetarian food as well, but yeah, some states are strictly like vegetarian, and a lot of the Indians, especially, of course, the Hindus, a lot of them are vegetarians. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to ask you about non-vegetarian food. So, if a non-vegetarian lover comes to Argentina, what are maybe the two or three dishes, the names of dishes that you can recommend?
Vegetarian. There are some.
Non-vegetarian,
No,
non-vegetarian. Yeah,
non-vegetarian. Okay.
yeah.
So you have asado. Yes, that
Okay.
is the meat. There are different uh, um, types of meat,
Hmm.
different options that you can do it asado, asado en la parrilla, you know.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
asado, milanesa.
Hmm.
Milanesa, it's also a very popular dish
Right.
here.
Okay.
Milanesa is meat, but with
Hmm.
egg and like bread,
Okay. Okay.
But milanesa is very popular
Okay.
too. And we also
Okay.
have we have Italian and Spanish influence in our
Okay.
dishes. Okay, so
Okay.
you can eat a tortilla, you can eat a pasta, and it would
Okay.
be
Okay.
a good option too. You know?
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yes. And
So,
then for dessert, you can eat flan
okay.
con dulce de
Yeah.
leche. Of
Oh,
course,
wonderful.
that's what
Wonderful. Wonderful.
like
Okay,
the
great. So
dessert.
I think for non-vegetarians, Argentina is an amazing place to visit. But as Akash Rocks asks, so he's asking that any problem for vegetarian people like me? So he seems to be vegetarians, but I think
No,
Leticia,
no,
as you just mentioned,
it's
yeah,
not a problem. No, it's not a problem. You can
right,
find there are very good options, vegetarian options or
okay,
vegetarian restaurants too.
okay,
So it won't be a problem. Even though our most popular dish is with meat, you won't
hmm,
have problem. If you are vegetarian, you will find options here. And people are, it's not okay if I'm saying this, but we are very friendly. So if you ask for anything, I don't know, I don't eat meat, can you please help me? Or can we adapt this dish? We are super friendly and you won't have problems here. I believe
I
with
think I think that's fantastic. And he's asking, Akash Rocks 05 is also asking, any Indian restaurants in Argentina? I'm pretty sure that there
yeah,
must be Indian restaurants there,
there
no?
are, yes, and they are very good too. Yes,
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
in Buenos Aires. There are like 3 or 4 very popular,
right,
and time to time I go. I love going there and try like this paneer,
right. Yeah,
dal or something. Yeah.
yeah. Great. So, just for people who have just joined, we are having this conversation with Leticia Esteves about India, Argentina. She has been to India about 4 times, so and she can speak a little bit of Hindi. She has explored a lot of places in India. So please keep asking and learning from Leticia whatever questions you may have regarding India. I mean, her impressions about India or about Argentina, so that our minds open up and India and Argentina relations can go even stronger. So Leticia, I was like about to ask you. I think just strike my mind for a while and then went off because I was taking the question of Akash Rocks about Indian restaurants. But yeah, I think to talk about and you're getting a lot of love from India, So there
Yeah.
is one I think Hari Krishna who's saying love from Kerala. So and then
Because I
Akash Rocks
became,
also saying
as I told you, that video became viral, especially in Kerala. So I have like 1,000 of articles from newspapers who is this, like, who is this girl or this lady that is wearing an Indian flag? Why is she wearing an Indian flag at the stadium? So it became something huge by then. So I keep my friends from Kerala since then, since the World
Wonderful.
Cup. Yeah.
Wonderful. And Akash Rocks also says Indians love Argentinian people. That's true. And when you talked about Argentinians being very friendly, so when you go and probably you ask them that can I get vegetarian food, so they will give you. And I think so. I have never visited Argentina, so I would love to visit that place. But what I can get the sense is from talking to Spanish people and Latin Americans, I think there's a bit of a difference. And if there is any Spaniard here, please don't get me wrong. I'm not generalizing it, but generally, I think the Europeans, so there's a difference between Europeans. Let me not just say Spanish people, I would say Europeans, because my limited travels to some of the European countries has made me experience this, is that probably they're not as friendly as Latin Americans, you know. And I think that's got to do with probably the European, I don't know, maybe the superiority complex or the fact that they think that they have achieved more. So it could be anything, you know, regarding to that. But I can see that when you say that Argentinians are very friendly, the friends that I've made in Argentina, who have been here in India and I've become friends with them, and even with you, for example. So there's a lot of warmth that comes from Argentinians. So I think that's quite right. So please, I think when I would say to my listeners here that if you are visiting Argentina, I think take the word of Leticia
Yes.
that you're going to have a good time and people are going to be friendly. And of course, there are always one or the other negative factors that may come in,
Yeah,
but
sure.
then as a whole, the country is beautiful and
But for
it's
example,
wonderful to visit.
it's something probably very common here. We get to know someone that is visiting us. We try to help him or her.
Yeah.
And it happened to me that I ended up inviting them home for dinner or for mate, you know. We are very friendly. We love to make new friends. And I
Yeah.
believe that most of us also appreciates that people come to Argentina to visit our country. As it happens, I mean, I felt the same in India, you know. It's like, I read somewhere, I don't know if it's true or not, but tourists or visitors are like gods from
Yeah. Yeah.
from India.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they are coming to our country. They want to interact with us, to visit us, to get to know each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a huge opportunity.
True.
I work in tourism, so what can I say? But I really enjoy meeting
Yeah.
new people. You know.
Wonderful.
Uh,
Wonderful. So that I think that's great. So when you talked about gods, tourists being gods. So there is a saying in Hindi, that is, or Sanskrit, that is Atithi Devo Bhava. So Atithi is guest, and Devo is Dev or God, and Bhava is comes from Bhavna, which is this feeling. So we feel or we treat our guests as God. So I think that is fantastic.
yeah.
Please keep coming in the comments here. We have Leticia Esteves with us, an expert on Argentina and tourism, and whatever questions you may have, we can keep asking Leticia, and she can answer. So Leticia, moving ahead, talking more about Argentina. So we've talked about food, we've talked about sports, we've talked about the places to visit in Argentina. Can you share with us some typical Argentinian expressions, yeah, or
Yes, sure.
Argentinian words? Because many times here in India, when we learn Spanish, the textbooks that we have, or when we teach Spanish, yeah, they're very much based on Spain, you know, and not much importance, you can say, or awareness is there about Latin American Spanish. And Latin American Spanish is quite different in a way. Of course, we can understand that learning Spanish, but then there's a whole different rhythm, some different vocabulary. So maybe some interesting Argentinian expressions and words that you can talk about, Leticia.
Yes, sure. Well, the most popular I think is che. You know, che. We use it a
Che.
lot, and we don't even realize that we use it so much. So, for example, I
Okay.
can say che is like hey, you know, it's like che Siddharth, can
Okay.
you please help me with this? Or che Siddharth, or would you like to come with me to the cinema, for example? We use che like
Okay.
in hey, you know.
Okay.
So it's like
Okay.
it's a very common word that we use. It's che
Oh,
to
wonderful.
just
Che. Does it have anything to, okay, so does it have anything to do with the revolutionary leader Che Guevara?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't really know. It's like
Okay.
something that is between us every time,
Yeah.
or it's
Right.
been like within our
Right.
vocabulary since
Right.
ever.
Right.
But probably,
Right.
I don't know. Probably yes. But
Right.
Che is something very popular, and
Right. Right.
we are. What else? We use a word that is it can be like a it's in an insult. It's not an insult, but it depends on the tone you use. Like it's
Yeah.
boludo. We say like boludo is like it can sometimes it's friendly. Like I can say
Okay.
che boludo. It's something like I can use to say to a friend, or maybe it
Okay.
can be an insult, but it's something quite popular here to say. But eh, what else? I mean. Then you have like some words that it depends on the generation. You can use it more or less, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Che is like one of the most
No, most. Yeah. Yeah.
popular. I mean,
True. That's true.
Argentina use the Che that is like our hey,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. I think, yeah, the guests who are there, if you know of some more typical Argentinian words or expressions, you can talk about. I mean, you can mention it in the chat. It'll be amazing to have that. So, Leticia, many times, we learn languages through movies, yeah, and
Yes.
Argentina also has produced some wonderful movies over the years. So, can you suggest a couple of movies or two or three movies that you can recommend to the students of Spanish who can watch those movies and not only learn the language but also maybe learn a little bit about maybe the cultural or the historical aspect of Argentina?
Yes. For example, there is the Oscar winner movie lately that is El secreto de sus ojos. That is
Okay.
the secret in their eye.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of drama. It's also policial,
Okay.
policial
Okay.
and drama.
Okay.
It's mostly based in Buenos Aires, so you can get to see
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
emblematic buildings and spots and this cultural thing about having coffee. We have this traditional thing that okay, let's go and have some coffee. This idea of going out and have some coffee or tea or whatever. But we always say just let's have coffee, a cup of
Yeah.
coffee, to
Right.
talk. We love talk.
Right.
You love talking,
Mhm.
and you can see that in the movie. This okay, go to a bar, have some coffee, and talk, and but that is
Mhm.
a very popular and famous movie to
Oh,
watch,
okay.
and the actors
Oh, wonderful.
are like the most popular actors are in that movie. Darin
Right.
and Francella are two actors are very popular and like the most, uh,
Right. Right.
yes,
Right.
well
So
known here.
El secreto de sus ojos, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any
Yes.
any other movie that you can recommend?
Well, now it's very. This is like even though it's a Spanish production, you have
Yeah.
actors from Argentina and from Uruguay. It's very popular now because it was nominated for the last Oscar award,
Okay.
and it's La Sociedad de la Nieve, La
Okay.
Sociedad de la Nieve,
Okay.
which is a true story about a plane that fell down in the Andes in
Okay.
Argentina,
Okay.
but it was they get to survive after 73 days they are in the
Okay.
mountain. So it's a,
Uh,
a true story, and
okay.
it's interesting because you have some actors from Argentina and from Uruguay. It was produced by directed by a Spanish director,
Okay.
and it became very popular. It's in Netflix too, La Sociedad de la
Okay.
Nieve.
La Sociedad de la Nieve. Okay. So I'm repeating
Yes.
that. La Sociedad de la Nieve. For people who would love to go and give it a go. So it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
very interesting story. Yes, very interesting,
Oh,
and it was very. I mean, it shocked society by then. I'm talking about
right.
like the 70s. So I truly recommend it to
Right.
watch that.
Okay. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, great. So So yeah, I think it's been fascinating, Leticia, to have you here, and we just request our guests to please keep putting in the chats here. If you have any more questions, we will have probably 5 minutes more or 10 minutes more of Leticia if there are questions there, and
And
ask more about
uh,
Argentina.
you know
Yes.
what? We also learn by Bollywood. I mean, Indian movies, not only from Bollywood, but Indian movies.
Yeah.
Here, when I search in Netflix or any other platforms, you have lots of movies from India. You know,
Okay. Oh,
yes,
wonderful. Oh, great.
yeah. And the embassy here always recommend a movie for the weekend, so you can search and watch different
Oh,
movies from
wonderful.
India.
So
Yeah.
is Bollywood popular in Argentina?
I mean, it's not like popular, but we have like this group of people like me.
Okay.
We love watching Bollywood
Right.
movies because it
Yeah.
has this combination with the dance, music,
Right.
you know,
Right. Right.
and yes. And sometimes I have like this group we share, we recommend each other
Okay.
movies from India. Yes,
Oh,
but I know
oh,
also that Bollywood is from more from Mumbai, right? And then
right.
we
Yes.
have different
Right.
industries too in the country.
Wonderful. I would invite, great. I'd invite some of the guests here with time that is left. If they would like to join our conversation through a video, they can join us. So they can say hi to Leticia and maybe ask a question. So um, just if you have any questions, you can ask and you can join this video. So please feel free
Right.
to send me a request and we can do that. So. Yeah, I think so. There's a Messi fans club who's saying Nuestra Leti. So I think that's amazing.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
Leticia
have
is getting a
lots
lot of
of
love.
people. Yeah, in Messi fans club, people that are fans. Kerala Blasters is a like, very popular football team down there
Yeah,
in Kerala.
yeah.
I didn't have the chance to watch a football match, but I will next time, I promise.
Mhm.
So I know Kerala Blasters fans are all over my
Yeah.
feed too. So I
Wonderful.
follow Kerala Blasters and yes. And
Oh,
even
wonderful.
sometimes if the Indian football team plays, I'm always there just checking the results
Oh,
and
okay.
everything. Yes.
Well, yeah, we also hope. I mean, Monday, someday Indian football team can come up the level. We are trying hard, but we still have a long way to go in terms of matching up to the standards of Argentina. I mean, let alone Argentina. Some of the lesser countries also smaller than us in terms of size, but they're doing a whole lot better. So we hope that maybe someday India and Argentina
Why not?
can play a World Cup football final match. Yeah, well, who knows?
Mm.
That could be a
I
possibility, and if
don't
that
know if
happens, that'll
it's
be
true,
amazing.
but maybe the Argentinian team will be visiting Kerala maybe next year, or I think I heard something about that because people just say you have to come too, you have to visit us and come and watch the match here. So
Yeah,
probably maybe Argentina football team will be visiting India. I think they should because during the last World Cup, I mean, Indian people was the best. I
yeah,
truly believe that all that energy just came to that final match.
mm,
So we own India. The
yeah,
national team owns India
yeah.
a match there.
Yeah, I don't know, like everyone was supporting Argentina. No one, I think, was supporting France, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that was one of, I think, a game for the ages. It was an amazing game of football, and yeah, great. So Leticia, thank you so much for being here and giving your valuable time to us. I hope that our listeners have been able to enjoy this experience of listening to you and learning more about Argentina. So, any last few words you could talk about India before we finish?
Well, I think about India, and I'm not exaggerating because people who know me know that I'm not lying. I think every day. Every day, just 1 minute, 2 minutes, half an hour, or maybe I'm have my Hindi books here, or I'm reading something about India. India is always on my mind and on my heart, so I'm always expecting and waiting to come back. So I hope
Wonderful.
I can do this soon. Yes.
Wonderful. I think I'm also waiting and expecting that someday, you will come back to India and we can do an Insta live together rather
Yes,
than,
I know.
online. And maybe, yeah, you never know if I can find a way to come to Argentina someday and we can do an Insta live from there together. So yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah. So let's
Yes,
let's hope for
we
the
have
best.
a tour guide here. I can be your tour guide here and just take you everywhere in Buenos Aires.
Muchas gracias. Muchas
Okay.
gracias, Leti.
Gracias,
Y bueno,
Gustavo.
ha sido una charla fascinante y para mí especialmente algo muy informativo, ¿no? Hablar contigo. So thank you so much, Leti, for being here. And as I think Akash Rocks 05 was saying that please do more such streams. So I believe that, maybe we can have you, Leti, again for another interesting chat on some other interesting topic about India and Argentina. So
Sure.
thank you so much till then. Yeah.
Tahut, धन्यवाद. फिर मिलेंगे.
बहुत धन्यवाद. फिर मिलेंगे. Thank you. Thank you to my viewers to watch this and until next time. Take care. Bye.
Ciao.